Hello everyone, my name is Autumn Hoffman. This is for the Adult Education Instructor Training. This is the assignment 4 in AEP 867, our teaching unit that we were to design 2 lessons to implement into our class. At the moment, I have been done teaching for the last 2 weeks, and I'm kind of transitioning into helping the adult education instructors while my students are out on clinicals in the month of March. So the goal for our overall program here is to create an online GED program. This seems to be a bigger task than I anticipated for our instructors and kind of for myself. It's a little bit more tedious and time consuming than I initially thought of for this big of a project. I have done online courses for a couple of my courses here in the PTA program, but putting a whole GED program online is a little bit more tedious, but very much doable. Our overall objectives for the big project is to teach the instructors how to appropriately use the technology, the different pedagogies that are involved with online learning, making sure that we create an environment that the learners take ownership in their learning and are able to self-learn, have an independence, and kind of just develop an overall passion for learning and ownership of that. And then making sure that we can identify multiple instruction in different ways to assess the technology, the students, and how they're learning, and the overall effectiveness of the structure of the program. So in starting this task, I really needed to analyze my instructors. There I have 2 instructors, and one of them is gung-ho, ready to go, and is a little fearful of technology and trying to understand the pieces of it. The other one really doesn't like the idea of having to learn different things in technology and all of these different sources you can use. So with that knowledge, I have this understanding that I really need to make sure that I make them feel comfortable, that technology isn't as scary as it sounds, and that this is totally something that they can control and manage and become passionate about as well. So we sat down and had a meeting first, and that's kind of where these lessons have developed from, to making sure that I understood where they were with this and setting them up for success and not putting added stress on them just because of the newness of technology. I have chosen 2 models, and if you understand the physical therapy world, there are a lot of different models and designs and protocols that we use. And personally, I haven't used one strict protocol. I use different models and techniques that help benefit the patient. So I kind of want to explain how I want to kind of merge these 2 models. So the ADDIE model there, that analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate, is the overall foundational structure of my lessons and starting up an online program. But I want to take it a backwards approach on it for my instructors. I want them to see the technology sources they can use and kind of design some lessons, and then I want them to figure out how to analyze the overall foundation components of this, and then we'll go into the evaluating the whole process. So it's kind of a mixture of 2, but I really think it'll assess. I think if I have my instructors try to analyze their students, select tools and stuff, They don't even know what tools are available to select for their learning content and the materials that they want to use. So I really think it's important to kind of look at our development and our design first and the tools available to them, and then kind of back into how we are going to build this online course using the ADDIE model. We're going to move past the fear of technology here. The materials we're going to use is I have developed a adult education instructor website specifically for my 2 instructors, so it's geared towards them. We can jump to it here. As it's loading, I have different things. We're going to start with the tech tools for the classroom. They'll have a short video. You know, I've picked the top 3 sources that are free and that have an app. So Google Plus and Edpuzzle have an app for students to use and for instructors to use to help manage. That's free. And they're very easy and not overwhelming. I know some of tools can be overwhelming, or bottom line, there's thousands of tools we can use. These are just ones that I feel that were more comfortable for my instructors. We'll use Google Docs and then a Google Community to help get the teachers going here. Our Lesson 1 objectives is to understand the components of Google Community, Screen-O-Matics, and Edpuzzle, being able to design and implement a Google Community, and create a Screen-O-Matics account. So these are just giving them the opportunity to learn about the different sources that are available to them, and then we'll build their tech toolbox from there. So our activity is I will be there guiding them kind of step by step, making sure that they don't become overwhelmed or stressed out. I can help them troubleshoot when they run into a problem. But I'm just going to have them watch that short video that was on the website. I want them to utilize the video on the website to give me the top reasons that each source is used. And then from there, in our procedural task analysis that I've created, they're going to walk through and build a Google Plus community. And then lastly, in this lesson, we'll have them set up a Screen-O-Matic account. So my plan is to have this complete in about an hour and a half, and making sure that I answer the questions and kind of provide enough time to kind of just explore and not have to do a lot of memorizing. And then their homework is to take those tools and create a lesson, basically. So I'm going to post this PowerPoint later, and you can go into my Google Doc here on how to develop and select the tools that are best for the material that they want to choose. And that's just going to give them an idea of how to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Lesson 2 is building the foundation. This is where we kind of go into the analysis. We kind of backtrack into that first step. We want to build that foundation of the needs and the ability that the students have, and kind of get an assessment format established for the program. Then we want to select the best learning material and content to use, and making sure that we have an established purpose or mission for our program, and that our students are aware of what our overall goal is for having this online program, and making sure our instructors their activity includes 3 key things. I want them to develop a list of survey questions to get to know their students, how they learn, what resources the students have available to them. It's very important to make sure we understand what our learners are able to do, what resources they have available. That way we can set them up for success and can implement those new tech resources as they become more comfortable. I want to make sure that my instructors know how to select the appropriate material and content and the delivery, in their lessons. So in this assignment, they're going to go through their curriculum and just write out which technology tool they want to use to help convey that lesson. And then lastly, again, is writing that purpose statement. So, sounds like a lot to do, but they're smart, and working together we can accomplish a lot. Probably the scariest part of this whole thing is the implementation, just because, you know, this can get overwhelming for someone, and I want to make sure that I never convey that technology is overwhelming or impossible to utilize. So, hoping these are structured, and that's kind of how I'm evaluating this, making sure that my lessons meet my objectives, making sure there's structure, allowing autonomy, promoting higher learning for the instructors and the students, and making sure this is meeting my needs for my adult education instructor. So that's kind of how I've evaluated this, and I think I've done a fairly good job of answering those questions with a yes. But we'll see how our lessons go. I'm looking forward to this journey with my adult education instructors, and I'm thankful to have this opportunity. So thank you.